Thanks so much for spending time with us. Great to be with you again on this Thursday afternoon. It's opening day.
It is.
For Major League Baseball. We're excited about that. We're going to have a little bit more about the Guardians season opener. They are in Kansas City today as they play their first official game as the Guardians. But first, an historic... The Senate voting earlier this afternoon, 53-47, to confirm Ketanji Brown Jackson to be the next member of the U.S. Supreme Court. She'll be the first female African-American justice to serve on the court when next year's session begins in October. NBC's Alice Barr joins us live now in D.C. with the very latest on this historic moment. Alice, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Jay. This is also a key victory for the White House at a time when it is looking for something to celebrate, and it is a bipartisan confirmation that sets a new standard of representation on the Supreme Court.
And this nomination is confirmed.
A historic vote today in the Senate, cementing Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson as the first black woman justice on the U.S. Supreme Court.
We want to make our justice system look much more like America. And today we took a giant stride forward.
President Biden watching the vote with Judge Jackson, the nation's first black woman vice president, presiding.
We have just made a decision to put this extraordinary jurist on the highest court of our land. It's a good statement about who we are.
No need for her to cast a tie-breaking vote, with 3 Republican senators joining all Democrats to back the nominee.
I became convinced that she's within the mainstream. She's also highly qualified, intelligent, a capable person.
But the overwhelming majority of Republicans oppose the judge's nomination.
I see hallmarks of judicial activism in Judge Jackson's record.
Several accusing her of being soft on crime and at times contentious confirmation hearings. There were also nods to the history and emotion of this moment.
I see my ancestors and yours.
Judge Jackson said she hoped to send a message
about the progress that we've made in this country.
One ringing loudly today for so many black women and the next generation.
The courts can look like them, and that the decision makers can look like them.
As a decision in the U.S. Senate breaks new ground for this country. President Biden and Judge Jackson will address the nation tomorrow from the White House, and the judge will be sworn in to the High Court after Justice Stephen Breyer retires this summer. Back to you, Jay and Betsy.
Alice, the makeup of the court, still 6 conservative justices, 3 liberal justices, or at least those that tend to lean that way with their previous decisions. What can you tell us about the larger political context, though, of this confirmation?
Right, you're right to point that out. This doesn't actually change, the political makeup, such as it is of the court. But certainly, first of all, as I noted, it is a victory for President Biden. This is something that he promised on the campaign trail, that he would nominate the first black woman justice. And really, the White House needs something to try to boost itself and boost Democrats heading into the midterm elections this fall. So there's hope that this could kind of give some juice to Democrats who are looking for something to champion. And then also just the fact that there were 3 Republicans, does say that this was bipartisan, but these things have become so much more divisive. So 3 does make it bipartisan, but really to have that wide of a split says a lot about, where the politicization of the High Court has headed at this point. Back to you.
Alice Barr live from Washington on What's New. Alice, thank you.
Well, our team coverage continues now with some of the top legal experts in the classroom and in our courts responding to this historic moment. Our own Brandon Simmons spoke to a few of them this afternoon, all black women, about what this means to them. Brandon, it's exciting stuff.
Definitely exciting, Betsy. Not only is this a great day for black women in America, this is really a great day for the entire country, according to those who I spoke with. And this all comes down to representation, as we talked about, and showing what's possible to future generations. And while this day will go down in history, they also acknowledge there's much more work to be done.
But now we have a generation of children, particularly African-American females, who will see this, and it will no longer be an anomaly to see someone who looks like them.
Today is a day of celebration. There's a little bit of extra pep in our step, but we recognize that it's just a moment in time. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Diversity on our bench means so much to how our laws are affected in this country. Having somebody that looks like us be able to sit in the room and share their experiences in certain areas that nobody else can share it's monumental.
Now, Ketanji Brown Jackson will be only the 6th woman to serve on the country's highest court, and as we've said, the first black woman. So experts say this really helps ensure the court is really more representative of what America is all about. But one thing they did also talk about, just as Alice Barr just mentioned, is the contentious process that we've seen, the line of questioning during the hearings that she had to endure, and even that 53-47 vote saying that the court has become more politicized, as she said, and that's not how it's designed to be, Betsy.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much.
Sure.
Well, next on your feed at 5, the UN General Assembly voting today to suspend Russia from the Human Rights Council. Ukraine, the United States, the United Kingdom, and other UN member nations all proposed the vote. They all expressed serious concerns about the reports of gross and systematic violations of abuses of human rights and violations of international humanitarian law during the war in Ukraine. 93 countries voted in favor of suspending Russia from the Human Rights Council. 24 nations actually opposed the move, including China. 58 nations abstained from the vote.
How many of you just kind of started weaving back and forth in your seat? That's what I'm doing. And you know what that song means. It is time to play ball. It is finally opening day for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's finally here. Right now, your Cleveland Guardians are playing the Kansas City Royals in the 2022 season opener. We have just gone to the bottom half of the 4th inning, and the Cleveland Guardians have struck first blood. They scored on an opposite field single, actually double, by Jose Ramirez. Of course, the money man.
Hey.
He comes through to knock in Miles Straw, who for the record books, Betsy, picked up not only the first hit in Cleveland Guardians history, but the second hit. The first RBI going to Jose Ramirez. As I mentioned, that double the other way made it 1-0. Zach Greinke pitching for the Royals in his return to Kansas City. Shane Bieber didn't give up a hit until the 3rd inning, and even then, that was just a weak little pop single to right field by Whit Merrifield. But right now, the Guardians up 1-0 in the 4th inning.
Well,
print your playoff tickets.
It is time, right? We are so ready for this game to get back here to Cleveland. And as our baseball team ushers in this new era, there are still a lot of questions about why the Guardians. So Sarah Shookman has all the answers.
Well, Jay and Betsy, it's an exciting day, and both the Cleveland Baseball Club and the Guardians of Traffic have important histories about our city. As of today, there's a new one being written.
Somebody once said you play for the name on the front of the jersey, right? So it is the Cleveland Baseball Club at its core.
At the Baseball Heritage Museum, today is one for the books. Cleveland's baseball club has a long history, even of its names.
It always has been through the Spiders, the Naps, the Blues, the Indians. They are a club of people that enjoy playing the game, and that is what unifies them and makes them go out on the field and play.
League Park is the original home of Cleveland's baseball club. Babe Ruth hit his 500th home run out of the park from right here. But already, the museum is making room for the next chapter.
The Baseball Heritage Museum is poised and ready to continue telling the story and the history of the Cleveland Baseball Club as it is the Cleveland Guardians.
Native Clevelander and historian Pamela DeRazio-Dean says the Guardians are already part of our story, too.
The Guardians are really reflective of who we are as a city and our values and the people that made Cleveland a great place to be.
The sandstone symbols, likely from Amherst Rock, were carved by primarily Italian immigrants at Little Italy's Ohio Stone Company in 1932.
So the idea came from an architect here in Cleveland, Frank Walker, and then on this.
The Hope Memorial Bridge was meant to connect the city and be beautiful, not just functional. Now a connection getting attention on a whole new scale.
To remember who made the Guardians, why they're here, and how they're contributing to their city today just makes for a much more rich community and a more connected community.
The Baseball Heritage Museum has already collected items for spring training, from this spring training for part of its future exhibit. And the Cleveland History Center, too, says baseball has been so central to Cleveland's story that the ongoing story will be the achievements under this new team name, guys.
Well, I know a lot of fans are very excited to, start getting the gear going. Roll out some of the Guardians t-shirts and the hats and all that good stuff.
Yeah, everything in terms of logo and merchandising has changed. And Sarah, I know when they come home for the home opener on Friday, it's not yet a sellout. The hope is we'll get there, but it'll be interesting to see how the fan base splits up with those wearing the new stuff and those wearing the old stuff, because I've heard from a lot of the fans that said they're not getting rid of their old stuff. They're going to still wear it to games. That'll be interesting.
I think there's a lot of continuity of the look, obviously, as I see it there behind you. So, yep. I mean, that is to be expected at this point. I don't see people wearing spiders or Cleveland Nap stuff, but hey, 105 years of the Indians, it's probably going to be with us for some time.
Very good.
All right, thanks so much, Sarah. Well, the Guardians home opener is coming up Friday, April 15th. It's a week from tomorrow, everybody, and it airs right here on WKYC. We are hosting the San Francisco Giants. Coverage will start at 3 p.m. and Jay and I are going to be over at Progressive Field. Don't forget, first pitch, it's an evening opener for us. That's a newbie.
That's weird.
7:10 p.m. Well, up next for us, get ready for some furry new friends. We are live at this year's Forget-Me-Not Telethon, all to benefit the Cleveland APL. And we'll let you know how you can help out.
Then wedding woes, an update on the shotgun marriage after the Grammys with Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Well, first up, Matt, you got anything to top that news?
I was going to say, I saw that coming with the picture. Neither of them looked happy, the original pictures. Anyway, your outdoor patio forecast tonight. If you like getting pummeled by some grapple or those Dippin' Dots, hey, get an outdoor seat. Otherwise, inside might be the best idea. We've got temps sliding back through the 40s. Things will quiet down tonight. We've got another active day tomorrow. We'll talk about that and a big warm up in the forecast, all coming up when we return.
Well, tonight we have some very cute live guests joining us on What's New. You may have seen just before we started the program as we give you an opportunity to help raise money for the Cleveland APL. This is very important.
Always a great cause. And Joe Cronauer is the lucky one who gets to be live there tonight. And Joe,
Yes.
all the money raised goes to help our furry little friends.
They really do, Betsy J. You know, they rely 100% on donations. There's no government funding. There's nobody else paying the APL to take care of these animals. So it's really up to everyone watching right now. And we have some really beautiful people ready to answer the phones, right? But the phones aren't ringing right now. And this is an awesome time to make the donation to the APL because for every person, every donation, it's going to get doubled. There is a board member by the name of Kathy Tapman from Demore Tapman. It's a wonderful accounting firm. They're going to double the donations. Kathy Tapman's on the board. She's got a giving heart. So make a donation for $100. It turns into $200. This is Pee-wee and Aisha. You're going to tell me about Pee-wee.
Pee-wee is a 2-year-old dog. We don't know his backstory, but when he came to us, he had a broken leg. He had some cuts on his face.
What
so we can
happened?
only assume that he was hit by a car.
Aw.
And he needed specialty surgery to fix that leg. And for such a young boy, we really wanted to be able to give that to him so he could have a great quality of life.
Such
And
a
he's such a
loving
sweet
dog.
boy.
He really is. He really is. And that's the end game here is to find a forever home for each and every pet that comes to the APL. But let's get them fixed up and as good as new because they do come sometimes broken like Pee-wee did. So please make your donation now. What an awesome thing to do around the dinner table and say, guess what? We saved animals today at the Cleveland APL. So the numbers are on your screen. There's also a code. You just point your smartphone to. That QR code will go right to these donation centers. So people like Lisa, whose phone's not ringing, can take care of your donation. So it's 216-566-PETS. That's 216-566-7387. On behalf of Pee-wee and on behalf of everyone here, including Lisa, thank you for your donation. Make these phones ring right now.
Well, Joe, I hear the phones ringing behind you, so that's a beautiful sound.
Getting better.
Music to our ears. Please keep calling, give what you can. It all goes to such a terrific cause at the Cleveland APL. How can you say no to a beautiful face like that?
I know. Puppy kisses.
And I'm not talking about Joe. I mean, he's a handsome man.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
That is a beautiful animal there. Thanks, Joe. We'll see you soon. Gorgeous.
Well, speaking of gorgeous, in between the rain showers and at times being pelted by grapple, we got to see some sunshine. And could you feel the difference when the sun came out? The sun is starting to actually feel warmer now. That's some good news.
Power. I like the power of the sun today. Matt, your word, it goes off our beg for funds for the APL. Compassion. I know our viewers have a lot of it. We hear from them on a regular basis in our 3 News Facebook site that they're filled with compassion, so you can throw that into your weathercast somehow.
Yeah, for sure. You know, meteorologists here in Cleveland always begging for compassion from our viewers as well based on the forecast. So,
especially this time of year.
Yeah, this time of year especially. Yeah, we're kind of hanging on to it. Did you get some grapple today? We had some real decent downpours mixed with the grapple. That's those Dippin' Dots that we had falling across the area today. Even had some rumbles of thunder. Even within the last hour had some thunder. This sent in from my sister, TJ, out of the Mogador area. You can see falling on the beautiful landscape they have down there at her home. All right, big picture across the country. Not much going on, right? Look at the big picture. It's quiet out west, quiet down towards the south where they need it. And then you have this huge monster storm system that just continues to spin across the upper Midwest. And you just look at it on the water vapor. I could watch this all day as it just continues to spin and spin and spin. But notice the last couple hours here, actually the last 24 hours, it's starting to head down to the south and the west. That tells you this is going to have some staying power as it continues to swirl around the Midwest. And this is what happens when you have an April atmosphere out there where you get the warming on the ground and cold air aloft. You get this bubbled up nature on the radar, and just look at how it's blossomed throughout the day. A lot of this is going to go away after sunset as it's being diurnally driven, as we call it. But you can see down in Kansas City, yeah, they're dealing with the same pattern that we have here with a shower. The sun comes out, a shower, sun comes out, and that's going to be the pattern tomorrow across northeast Ohio. We were just getting into it today. Tomorrow we're going to be in the thick of it. Once we get some daytime heating, we'll see those bubble up showers, and yeah, we'll have some grapple in there as well. Pretty good push out towards Ashtabula County right now. No lightning in the last 15 minutes with this, but likely some of those little ice balls falling near the Jefferson area down towards Orwell. That extends with another little section heading into Suffield right now. And then even down in areas near Massillon heading into Canton right now, North Canton. This is going to be your second bout with perhaps some grapple today. Not expecting a whole lot in terms of thunder from here on out as we've lost that peak daytime heating. But temperatures depends. And if you get the rain, you have temperatures that get knocked down to the 40s. It brings that cold air down to the surface. When that sun comes back out, you're back up into the 50s. How about that? So the big picture look ahead, this thing's going to swirl across the Great Lakes. Notice the uptick as we go through the daytime. Tomorrow, it'll fade tomorrow night, and then we start to mix in some snow. Your National Zymark Hour by our forecast has a quiet picture tomorrow morning, but tomorrow during the afternoon, have some compassion for Mother Nature. She's had a long winter around here, and she's going to be cranky at best tomorrow afternoon as we continue with that colder pattern. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast, 48 tomorrow, all the better will do. You notice how we're kind of stuck in the cold the next couple days. And then we're back up into the 70s next week. You know what? Tomorrow doesn't look right. I've got clouds, sun peaks. Let's just say what it is. Downpours, grapple, thunder, breezy. We've just got everything coming our way tomorrow. So just best to stay inside and close the blinds tomorrow.
That is exactly what we talked about. Matt's like, just watch. I'm going to do it. So he's slammed it all in there. We're like, all weather is happening tomorrow.
Everything tomorrow.
There it is.
There's no
all
tornadoes.
Right.
That's good. So.
Well done,
sunshine.
Matt. Well done. Thank you so much. Coming up for us next on What's New, who is replacing Kanye West at Coachella? Now, I know a lot of people are asking this, but of course, all of this is coming after he decided not to perform. Well, Kira's going to be along with the latest in Pop Break.
All right, then, facing your fears. We're going to tell you and show you how one pup is overcoming her fears. That's ahead in our Worth the Watch when What's New comes right back.
Hey Matt, we talking Travis Barker and Courtney, they faked us out with the wedding. Thank you.
Welcome back to What's New. Turns out Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker aren't really married. Dun, dun, dun. Plus, we have Pete Davidson to thank for a new category on Netflix. How about that?
That'll be interesting. And we now know who will replace Kanye West at Coachella. Kira Cotton has it all in today's Pop Break. Hi, Kira.
Hi, Jay and Betsy. Happy Friday Eve. Today's Pop Break is all about updates, so let's get started first with music. Earlier this week, I told you guys that Kanye West had officially pulled out of Coachella. Well, the popular music festival didn't have a hard time finding a replacement. The Weeknd will join Swedish House Mafia to fill the third and final headliner spot. The pair collaborated last year on their song Moth to a Flame. And in the romance department, guys, we got duped by Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. Turns out their Las Vegas shotgun wedding on Monday wasn't official because they didn't have a marriage license. Kourtney shared pictures of the day with the caption, "Practice makes perfect." Their practice nuptials came nearly 6 months after they first announced their engagement. And last but certainly not least, there's a new category on Netflix, all thanks to Pete Davidson. In his latest sketch for Saturday Night Live, the comedian, with the help of rapper Gunna, praised movies with runtimes under 2 hours.
I'm not pushing P unless it's under 2 hours. Like Lion King or Bad Month, all 3 Austin Powers.
Action, the streaming giant tweeted a link to the new category filled with movies that are less than 2 hours long with the caption, "Good idea." Now, the SNL skit is nearly 4 minutes long, but I think it's worth a watch. And just like the movies that Pete Davidson prefers that aren't over 2 hours. Jay and Betsy?
I love this genre of movie. It's like just an easy, get it over with, just need to block out a little bit of time and still get something done.
Yeah.
Yeah, these 3-hour marathons.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Just can't do it. Okay, Kate, thank you.
Sure thing.
All right, time now for our Worth a Watch. And once again, it is a dog taking center stage. So a golden retriever has a huge fear of waves. But watch this dog do the math between its fear of waves and its love of tennis ball. So what's going to win out here? You guessed it. The love of the tennis ball. And then get the heck out of the way because the waves are coming.
Well, it's probably not just the waves, but the sand is shifting at the same time because it's very wet.
Yeah.
So he's got a whole lot of different tactile things that are happening to him.
Clearly not a water lover.
No.
I mean, clearly not a water
It's
lover.
unusual because
yeah, you know, so my 2 Goldens are funny. The older one, Layla, was introduced to water at a very young age. She loves it. Maddie, not so much. And as a result, she won't go near it.
Aw.
She has no interest in the water. All right, cool, worth the watch.
Next at 5:30, Tiger Woods, come back. The golf legend returned to the turf today, teeing off in the Masters. This all after his car crash. A look at the day and what's ahead.
And managing medical debt, Monica Robbins joins us to break down options some credit companies are now offering to clear out some of the debt really hurting those credit scores.
And happy Beer Day, America. Yep, it is National Beer Day and it is Throwdown Thursday. Ha ha. Coincidence? I think not. You'll want to stick around.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And we begin at the bottom of the hour with the top 3 headlines you need to know. Late this afternoon, the Senate confirmed Ketanji Brown Jackson to be the next member of the U.S. Supreme Court. She will be the first black woman to serve as a justice on the court when the 2022-2023 session begins in October. The final vote in the Senate was 53-47, with all Democrats voting to confirm, 3 Republicans also voting to confirm. Brown Jackson will replace the retiring Justice Stephen Breyer, who is stepping down at the end of the current session in either late June or early July.
Today, visitation for fallen police officer Dominic Francis was held at a high school near Bluffton, Ohio. Francis was killed while putting stop sticks out on a highway during a police chase. The funeral service will begin tomorrow at Bluffton University's Sommer Center. Doors open at 9 a.m. The university expects 4,000 to 5,000 attendees. Of course, 3 News will be there, and we will have all the details on WKYC.com.
Once again, today is Major League Baseball's opening day, more than a week late because of the 99-day lockout leading up to spring training. Right now, the Guardians are playing the Kansas City Royals. Shane Bieber was twirling an absolute gem. It was 1-0 Guardians in the bottom of the 5th when Ahmed Rosario, who is by trade a shortstop, dropped a fly ball out in left field. Now, in his defense, it is windy in Kansas City this afternoon, but you got to use 2 hands, kids, and he didn't. The ball dropped out of his glove, and that run just came around to score. So Bieber is out of the game now with it tied at 1-1, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. You hate to see a terrific opening day performance by your starting pitcher go to waste, but it looks like that's going to happen. Now, no matter what happens, Bieber cannot get the win. He looked so good, had great command, but his pitch count was a little high. And so now it's 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Royals still batting.
Yeah, since it's game 1, they're just going to be like, fine.
Yeah, they're not going to take any chances. He's coming off the back injury last year. This is his first start of the new season, obviously. But, you know, it's really unfortunate. The outfield is the weakness of this team. And everybody was saying coming into the year, you're going to need more outfielders. They've moved Rosario to left. He's a shortstop.
It's not going well so far.
Not so much. Yeah. So it's still tied, and it's not over, but it's certainly not the kind of start we were hoping for. All right. Welcome to the second half hour of What's New, along with Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford.
Yep. We'll have Matt's updated forecast coming your way in just a couple minutes. But today I did see some people out on golf courses.
Yeah. You know, not just opening day in Major League Baseball, but our top talker here at 5:30, the miraculous comeback of Tiger Woods is officially underway. Remember, just 14 months ago, doctors were having serious conversations about whether or not they should amputate his mutilated right leg. This happened after the car accident that he was involved in out in California. Well, today, Woods returned to one of sports' most beautiful settings, Augusta National, for round 1 of the 2022 Masters, and he looked amazing. Tiger firing a 1 under par opening round 71, putting him on the first page of the leaderboard. He is just 3 strokes off the lead now. Co-leaders at Augusta National, Cameron Smith, along with Dustin Johnson, are 4 under. So Tiger well within striking range. He finished with 3 birdies, 2 bogeys, 2 of those birdies coming on par 3 holes. So it was incredible. I can flash back to the day of the accident.
Sure.
And all the speculation. Is he done? Will he walk again? You know, many were saying, forget playing golf again. Tiger is staring down.
That was written off. Like, no way.
Right. Many said, no, he won't. And they were just hoping that he could keep his leg. He had a broken tibia, fractured fibula, compound break, skin was broken by the bones. It was a horrific injury. And now here he is. This is his first time at Augusta National since winning for the 5th time the green jacket back in 2019. Remember, in 20 and 21, there were no patrons in 20. There were limited patrons last year. So this is the first time in 3 Masters that there's been big crowds and Tiger Woods. And it's electric. You could feel it coming through the TV screen today.
Sure.
Something special's going on there.
Well, he's probably amped up. I'm sure there's a lot of energy and a lot of adrenaline going on. So it'll be very interesting to see how things play out over the next few days.
Yeah.
There's got to be some endurance that he's got to put into
You're
it,
right.
too.
Yeah. I mean, you're walking 4 miles each day, and the leg is still gives him pain. So we'll see whether or not he can play into the weekend. Right now, he is well positioned to make the cut. Remember, Tiger has 15 major championships. He's still chasing Jack Nicklaus, who has 18. That looks like a very long shot now, but I said it 14 months ago, and I'll say it again. I'm never betting against Tiger Woods. Guy's incredible.
The fact that he's there is one thing.
Yeah.
Just, wow, incredible. Well, let's take a look at some more health news now. And if you've ever received a surprise medical bill, you know how frustrating it can be. And if it's a big one, sometimes there is a fear that it can cause injury to your credit score.
Yeah, a lot of times that happens. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins here now to explain how your credit score may soon be healed from medical debt. Monica, good afternoon. I bet a lot of folks in our audience, we have their attention because a lot of folks are dealing with big medical bills that they may never be able to pay off.
Especially after COVID and the pandemic.
Right.
I have good news for you. So if you have medical debt on your credit report that you've already paid, some great news. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are going to wipe your slate clean, which should give you a boost on your credit score. Now, the changes start July 1st. That means paid medical debt, that was in collections will no longer be included on consumer credit reports. So if you have unpaid medical debt, you now have 1 year before it shows up on your credit report, which gives you time to deal with the doctors and the insurance companies. Then next year, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion will no longer include medical debt in collections if it's under $500 on your credit report. Now, it's estimated this move will clear about 70% of medical debt from U.S. credit reports. So this is huge for consumers.
Well, and moving forward, it just gives them that much more leverage for borrowing power and various things. So that definitely plays into the economic outlook of the whole system, too.
Absolutely.
Now, what about seniors? Obviously, I think this would be, of a special advantage for seniors.
Yeah, a lot of people would think that that's probably who has the most debt. But in a recent healthcare.com survey, all ages said medical debt harmed their credit score. But get this, millennials were the highest at 52%. Now, a couple of things you got to do regardless. If you have health insurance, you got to review the explanation of benefits provided to you. Notify your provider when you receive your bill and let them know, hey, there might be some mistakes on this, because it's estimated up to 80% of medical bills contain errors.
Wow.
Usually with insurance coding. And when you take action ahead of time, you are essentially stopping the clock on when the provider turns that bill over to collections. So it buys you time to pay up, negotiate, and if there are mistakes, you're going to pay less.
80%? That's unacceptable, Monica.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that our healthcare billing system is so convoluted. I mean, everybody knows that. But, you may have networks and hospitals and doctors and providers. You may be getting billed for the same thing numerous times. And so that's why it's really important to look over those bills.
Got to keep track of every single one. You know about that, don't you, girl?
I know a thing or two about that.
Little something on Monica's to-do list all the time. Thank you so much, girl. Next on What's New season, new look. A first look at the redesigned Bertman Stadium mustard for the Cleveland Guardians and when it's expected to hit the shelves.
Then bring on the beer. Today is National Beer Day, and I think that's fitting with it being opening day.
Do we get beer?
It makes sense. I don't know. I don't see any cold brews in the studio.
I didn't even think to ask.
It is Throwdown Thursday, though, and that is our topic today. Beer. How much do Betsy and I know about beer? And I have to say, if I lose this one, I'm okay with that.
You probably know a lot more than I do, that's for sure.
First, though, Matt's back. He's got our weather in a jiffy. Hi again, Matt.
Yeah, hey, guys. Yesterday, we looked at the frustrations at looking at the forecast, right? I think this is what, as we look at the 7-day, what everyone's thinking about next week. Come on. Come on, get your 70s. They're in sight.
Hurry up.
We'll talk about the weekend and next week's warm coming up.
We've got 2 more hours for our Forget Me Not Telethon that's happening right here, live at the Cleveland Animal Protective League, and these wonderful people are ready to answer your calls and take your donations. Michael Cohan from the Cabbage Law Firm. Michael, you're on the board at the APL.
Correct.
Yes.
For about 8 years.
8 years, and you've got a big heart that keeps on giving. Earlier, you gave matching money for every donation, and at this point, we've got Kathy Tapman, who's also on the board, doing the exact same thing.
Yes, that's been very effective for us. We've done a lot in the last 8 years, but we still need a lot of donations.
We really do. They rely 100% on donations. That's all they get is your donations here at the Cleveland APL, like 24/7 at 365 days a year. So please, just like Michael is telling you, please, we do need your donations because these phones are not ringing. And normally this is our 11th year. Normally during this time, people are getting home, getting ready for dinner, and they're like, hey, let's do this. We have wonderful pets in our household. Let's make sure these pets here at the APL are taken care of. So please make these phones ring because your donation will be doubled. It's 216-566-PETS. You can also log on to the clevelandapl.org. But on your screen it says scan to donate. Point your smartphone to that little square. It takes you right to this donation center. So Michael, I'm going to go over here and meet Tony, okay? Now Tony's a big boy.
Tony is a big boy.
I shave from the APL. Tell me about Tony.
Well, Tony is an example of what your donations can do. He was brought in by our Humane Investigations Department. Unfortunately, he was outside in really bad conditions. He had a double ear infection, skin infection. He just was not in great shape. But the team brought him in. Our medical team got right to work because they had the funds to do so. They took care of him, and now he is ready to find a home.
And he's awesome.
He's a good boy.
He's lovable, and I'll tell you what, if you can help Tony out, you don't want to say no to Tony. That's all there is to it, all right? So please make that donation, 216-566-7387, or scan, but do it right now. Thank you.
Love to hear those phones starting to ring over there. That's always some good news. All right, Matt, speaking of the phone, ring-a-ding in the Weather Center, when are the 70s going to return?
I was going to say, if we hear the phone ring in the Weather Center, we've got problems. Something's wrong. I just unplugged it for the 4th time. So
that would be why we never get calls. Where are you guys?
I don't know.
Nobody called.
Someone's here 24/7. It's great. We've got warmer air next week. A lot of people perhaps getting the green thumb going, right? You're ready to plant, do all sorts of stuff. If you just moved here, or maybe you forgot, I just want to get you caught up to speed on our average last freeze around here. This isn't last frost. This is last freeze when you definitely really don't want to plant until then. So April 23rd is Cleveland's average last freeze. Akron 29th and April 30th in Mansfield. The latest freeze and the latest frost we've ever had, June 11th, 1972. What a year that was, right? But usually, Betsy and I were talking about this earlier, Mother's Day is usually a good sign of that, right? I say Memorial Day, get the stuff in the ground anytime in late May.
How would you know if 72, what a year that was? You weren't even born.
I'm just speculating. Yeah.
Come on, man.
June 11th, below freezing?
False advertising.
That's quite a year for sure. I was thought of, maybe. I'm not sure. But you can see we've got a smattering of some downpours out there. We've had the Dippin' Dots, the little grapple balls today. That's going to be more so tomorrow, as well as this low pressure. Look at this thing in the Resin Sea. Anywhere from areas of northern Arkansas all the way up to the Canadian border. Tribe game, they're getting hit with some periodic showers. Not a washout there, but it's just kind of the annoying showers that we've had. And look at what we've got tomorrow. We're just getting into it today. Tomorrow we should be socked in with those downpours, especially during the afternoon. And again, thunder can't be ruled out, and some grapple mixed in with that. Tonight, though, everything kind of calms down as we lose that daytime heating. We're back down near 40 degrees. Your National Zymark Hour by our forecast quiets us down quite nicely. We'll start with sunshine tomorrow. I think noon, we said that yesterday, and boy, today the first showers popped right at noon. I think same thing tomorrow, where we'll start dry. You hit noon when you get that daytime heating, and boom, the radar going to kind of blossom there, and you can see the smattering of showers and downpours that we'll have around the area. Let's get this cold air out of here, shall we? Well, we will. Sunday's our recovery day. By next week, a trough digs in out west. That will bring the warmth in the Ohio Valley. So we're talking 60s and 70s next week. But the thing to watch, this is next Tuesday as we fast forward. There's going to be all indication that there's going to be a pretty decent storm system in the Central Plains. This will kick off widespread severe weather next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even a Thursday. This frontal boundary boundary will eventually head through our area. No real cold punch behind this, but we'll have to watch for our first, perhaps some strong thunderstorms on this as that line goes through. Locally, we're talking Wednesday, Thursday, and again, the models will sort that out. We'll keep you updated. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Oh, today's still not right. Oh, there we go for tomorrow. We've got clouds, rain, grapple, wind, everything thrown at us. Saturday, a little bit of snow in the mix as well. We'll clear out of that. We'll warm things up and kind of stormy and spring-like next week, but happy to see the 60s and 70s returning.
The only thing missing for tomorrow is the kitchen sink.
Oh, well, that's in there too. It's right behind the thunderstorm and the wind.
All right, because that is the weather version of the kitchen sink, everything. All right, thank you, Matt. Time to see what's clicking in Cleveland now. For that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Heaney. Stephanie, a very good Thursday afternoon to you. Good to see you again.
Good Thursday to you, Jay, and everybody at home. And you know, with it being opening day, everything is all about the Cleveland Guardians and everything related to that today. And we all know that games are not complete without a hot dog topped with Bertman Ballpark Original Mustard. But a new team name means Bertman is giving their mustard a makeover. Here's a look at the updated packaging for the new Original Guardians label. That's the red one, and then the white one is Bertman's revamped Great Lakes Beer Mustard label. It doesn't get more Cleveland than that, and we will see these mustards at stores in the next couple of weeks, so keep your eyes out there. And if you can't make it to Progressive Field, we now have the 2022 broadcast schedule for the Guardians games that will be on WKYC, and we have it on WKYC.com. Of course, you can catch all the games called on the radio on WTAM 1100, and you can see the Guardians here on WKYC twice this season. We have the home opener next Friday on April 15th with the first pitch at 7:05 p.m. against the San Francisco Giants, and we also have a showdown with the Tigers at 7:10 p.m. on August 15th. That is a Monday night for my planners out there, so put it on your calendar. And here is something you cannot plan for, and you cannot make this up. A California woman accidentally won $10 million on a lottery scratcher ticket because of a rude customer. Yes, Betsy is looking at me like that's wild, because it is. What? LaKadra Edwards said she put money in a scratcher vending machine and she got bumped, and then she accidentally hit the button for this $30 ticket, which she did not want. She wanted a cheaper one, like a $2 one. And then she was in shock when she scratched it off and said that she won $10 million. She drove off, and then she said she had to pull over on the 405 highway so she didn't crash because she just could not believe it. It is a wild story. You can't make this up. It happened at a Vons just north of Los Angeles. We always ask, what are people going to do with the money? Jay, Betsy, she's going to buy a house and she's going to start a nonprofit with her surprise $10 million.
And give none of it to the person that bumped her.
Right. Nope, sorry, that's what you get for being rude.
That's serendipity right there, baby. That is, man, can you believe that?
Meanwhile, Steph, what are this week's numbers for the Powerball?
Yeah, well, they weren't any that I had on my ticket, I'll tell you that. That's what they were.
All right, keep playing.
Thanks,
you never
Steph.
know, and you can't play if you don't win. Or you can't win if you don't play.
That's true. Speaking of playing, I don't know if either of us are going to win. It is National Beer Day, and we are going to see just how much we know about one of our favorite adult beverages. That's ahead in our Throwdown Thursday.
And a life-changing gift, the device one teen got that's giving her a new outlook on life. It's a terrific story. It is our Show Us Something Good, and it is coming up.
Our Forget Me Not Telethon has been happening since 5 a.m. this morning, and right now there is nothing happening. The phones are not ringing, and it's really important that you make your donation for the APL. They rely 100% on donations because your donation is going to get doubled right now. Kathy Tapman's a board member here, and she's actually meeting every donation. She's going to match it. So please make these phones ring for Andrea and Scott. Look how sad they are. Come on, quit smiling, Scott. Please, please have a heart and give to the APL. Call now and make that donation. Thank you.
Couldn't say any better myself, Joe. Thank you. All right, it's not only Throwdown Thursday, but it's National Beer Day, so we decided to marry the two. Peyton Domsky's here. She's going to test our knowledge on beer.
I sure am. Are you guys ready?
Ready to go.
These questions are not easy. I will preface that.
But Matt Wentz got all of them right.
He did, and
Our
I
beer
don't know if it was just by luck. So
Okay.
we'll find out if you two are just as maybe knowledgeable as the Matt
Or
Wentz.
lucky.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So question number 1. When was beer invented?
Oh, my God.
Long time ago. A, around 21,000 years ago. Ooh. B, around 16,000 years ago. Or C, around 12,000 years ago.
First of all, without the multiple choice, I would have said about 300 years ago.
So the fun fact here is that it is all about the hunters and gatherers.
So I'm going to go with the closest to us, and it was 12,000 years ago, but I can't even imagine that that's true.
So you're going with 12.
Yeah, because
And
it can't be 21.
You're correct.
12,000 years we've had beer?
Yeah. Yeah, those hunters and gatherers.
By now. Don't want to get that
Oh,
one.
skunky beer.
Never, never.
Who came up with it? 12, the cavemen.
Yes, they did.
Fermentation has its perks.
There's one.
Okay.
Okay, true or false?
50-50.
How many gallons on average of beer is consumed in a year in the U.S.?
A lot.
Wait, that can't be true or false.
The true or false
Okay.
of how many gallons is 28.2 gallons per year in the U.S.? True or false?
No way that's true. 28 gallons.
No, you're saying false?
False.
Betsy, would you?
I'm going with true.
Ha ha ha.
28 gallons for every man, woman, and child?
Okay, so the number one state, North Dakota, we actually fall 23rd. The average for us in
Middle
the state
of
of
the road.
Ohio, 30.1. So,
Someone's drinking a lot of beer because I
none
don't
of
come
us.
anywhere near 28 gallons. Betsy's laughing.
I had mine back in the day, and it averages out over the rest of my life. So, it's about right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I had some back in the day, too. Okay,
Question
number 3.
3.
Betsy's
What
winning.
country has the most breweries?
Ooh.
Switzerland, Czech Republic, or Ireland?
This is hard.
Gotta be Ireland. I mean, they love their pubs over
I
there.
don't know. No.
I'm wrong?
You're wrong.
Uh-oh.
All right, I'll ring in with Czech Republic.
Switzerland.
Poop.
All right. No
Czech
harm,
is
no
in
foul.
2, second place. So you were
Where's
closer than
U.S.? Do we know? Matt,
no.
where's U.S.?
No.
No, we don't know.
We don't know.
Okay.
We can find out after this.
28
Yeah.
gallons per person.
You're still on.
Okay. In which year was the beer can introduced? 1929, 1935, or 1943?
Ooh, Betsy's in.
That's
B.
ding,
Second
ding, ding,
one.
ding, ding. 1935.
Uh-oh.
Correct.
Betsy's got
And-
5.
Okay, this is like a little added fun fact. I did some diving. The first can was sold in Richmond, Virginia.
Wow, that's cool.
Would have
Okay.
never known that.
was a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I got to get this one right, and then the 5th one will be for the win. So go ahead.
Okay. Question number 5. In which
Wait,
country?
number 4, right?
This is 5. This is the final
Oh,
question.
yeah, we missed number 2. I got to get this one right
Yeah,
for the
I mean,
win.
He's slacking over here today. In which country did the Great Beer Flood of 1814 occur?
Ooh.
A, Germany, B, London, or C, France?
Great beer flood.
Boy, that would have been a disaster. Can you imagine that? A beer flood? I'm going to go with, what did you say? Germany?
London, or France? Come on.
London
London's
is not
a
a
city.
country.
So I'm
city.
throwing London out.
There's cities and countries in here.
Okay.
There's a little mix.
Oh, well,
Sorry.
okay. I'm going to go with Germany. Germany.
She's like, brother.
Germany's wrong?
No.
Is Germany wrong?
It's London.
London's not a country.
England. Of course it's England, because France, it would have been the Great Wine.
Okay.
I didn't write those
Disaster.
questions, so.
All right.
Does
Whoever
that
wrote
mean that I won?
You
Yeah.
won. Betsy gets 6 beers, 7 beers.
No, I don't. Those are all mags, but I do get the leg lamp. Unplug it on my desk.
I knew you'd win when it came to beer. I knew it.
My mother is not very happy right now.
Congratulations.
Thank
Betsy
you.
knows more about beer than me.
I'm really good at guessing. All right, still ahead for us, everybody. A life-saving device made right here in Ohio is changing one teen's world. We will show you how next in our Show Us Something Good.
Then on 3 News at 6, it's not too far away. The May primary and the state still has some issues to sort through before people cast their ballots. Mark Namick's going to have that story coming up at 6.
Yeah, right. Representing. Hey, Al, how are you? You got me. Yep. Thank you. Yes, sorry. Stephanie just pointed out correctly that my mic cord was not tucked.
No, it's up here. May I?
In my next contract, I'm requesting.
Testing 1, 2. Gotcha. How are you? Thank you.
Because I know that she's familiar with the family. You know, I'm asking the wrong people lately. Hey, mic check 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I have you.
Check 1, 2, 3. Brandon's microphone. Tell me which part of the ring you want me to be in. Yeah, which part?
One Iowa teen recently received a life-changing gift. Leah Layton was born with Rett syndrome, which has left her unable to communicate verbally. Leah's speech-language therapist entered her into a contest to win a communication device, and Leah won by a landslide. This device uses eye-tracking technology to help Leah communicate, and the maker of the device, Forbes AAC, is located right here in Mansfield, Ohio. Thank you so much to them, because this device, thanks to this device, Leah now has access to an entire new world.
That's just incredible. It really, it's life-changing for that young lady forever.
Truly.
Amazing technology. Okay, that's it. We're out of time. Thanks so much for watching. We're back tomorrow at 5, and we hope to see you then.
And 3 News at 6 with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Now at 6, an historic day.
On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47, and this nomination is confirmed.
Today, the Senate confirmed Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court, securing her place as the first black female justice. We'll have local reactions. Also, the vote must go on. Legal battles and political boundaries will not stop the Ohio primary from being decided by voters. We'll break down exactly what you'll see on the May 3rd ballot. a new era.
Oh, we're excited to, see some baseball back here in Cleveland.
With the sounds of play ball echoing at ballparks across America, a new era in Cleveland baseball begins with the Guardians and Forget-Me-Not. Cute kittens and cuddly puppies await you as our Forget-Me-Not telethon continues, giving pets who need a new home